Cheating Death Podcast is a satirical program containing objective, transparent, direct, blunt, and nonpartisan information about anything and everything under the sun. We are not left, we are not right, we are not center, and we are not bought or paid for by any conglomerate. You made a decision to listen to this program, and by all means, you know by now that we are not political nor are we religious, but we are very analytical and a tiny bit litigious. Given the nature and dynamics of today's society, ladies and gentlemen, you owe yourself a hug and an ice cream. But for now, welcome to the Cheating Death Podcast. On today's episode of the Cheating Death Podcast, we get into the psychology of effort, what it looks like in accordance with each and every single individual's potential line of thinking, how you may feel, how you may measure it. It all boils down to the subjective interpretation of the mind. We'll provide you with a brand new joke of the episode, a new business spotlight, and of course an Annihilation Announcement, a top 5 list of Chimkin meals, and much, much more. By now, dear listener, you absolutely know what to do. Grab yourself an iced coffee and put your feet up on that table, and let us tell you how you can cheat death. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. We speak to each other about the burdens of bliss and the identification of idioms when it comes to the overall understanding of how we all focus and move on our own paths in life. To each of us, this existence may or may not be a burden, or it may be a blessing. It ultimately depends on which side of the coin both your mentality as well as your current financial, social, and residential state dwell upon. But that does not necessarily mean that you are incapable of changing your position. Absolutely not. No, because when you take into account just how long you have survived, just how much you have fought, just how much you have waged war upon mediocrity, and the realization that you yourself need to get to a point to where we see exactly what it is that needs to be brought to the surface. For you see, humanity has a beautiful way of always doing their best, but always doubting themselves whenever they are about to reach their zenith. These are situational events and experiences which are not completely limited to individuals of a social or a financial class. These are situations as well as assessments that we provide ourselves when we have reached a point to where we need to identify whether or not we deem it worthy to continue. No one tells you exactly how to go about certain tasks or how to accomplish certain endeavors. But that does not necessarily mean that it is incapable within your mind, within your body, within your soul, within your spirit, to find that information, to overcome these challenges, and to see for yourself just what you are capable of doing. At the end of the day, dear listener, we always find an opportunity to teach ourselves something new. We always find a way to get through the calamity, because we all need to remember, none of us gets out of this alive. We all will find the Reaper one day, and they will take us into their sweet embrace, and they will bring us home into the next dimension, into the universal quadrant, to where our energy is unified with every ounce of energy that came before us. You see, consciousness is not easily described, nor do scientists have any idea what it is, but anyone in whom has flatlined or who has had a near-death experience and has been considered clinically dead will tell you that it's not nearly as malevolent as they would make it seem. So what is it that is keeping you from achieving what you want to achieve? What is keeping you afraid? Faith, security, social standing, financial structure, the chase system? Who knows? All we understand and all we know, given the nature and the dynamics of today's current economy, is that you must believe in yourself. We must push ourselves to understand just what we are capable of. And dear listener, you are stronger than you know. Give yourself some credit. This is your news anchor, the Cleric of Chaos, and this is your Annihilation Announcement. Willkommen, meine Freunde. Guten Morgen, guten Tag und eine gute Nacht. Ist ein Reisender und eine Ausländer, deine Allesfresser. Deine Vernichter ist der authentische Spieler, ist der Comedian, Statist, der Journalist. Und heute ist ein schöner Tag, meine Freunde. Because today we discuss the psychology of effort, what it looks like to each individual in whom plies their craft or attempts their trade and works their way through this absolutely calamity-filled world. How is it that we look into our minds and we determine whether or not we try hard enough? The subjective interpretation of effort can be listed and mentioned and identified in a litany of ways. Some may categorize it as being mental effort or emotional effort. Some may categorize effort as being more of the physical variety, being able to identify within oneself specifically that you are doing your best. The psychology of effort shall not be denied. Over the years, we have come to understand that we as a society have a different way of viewing things. We move forward in a way to where there is absolutely no identification, proliferation, or vociferation when it comes to the understanding that we are a very conflicted species. We often ask ourselves questions that we have no answers to. We provide ourselves with obstacles that only we put in front of ourselves. The reasons that these transpire are litanious in number. We need to understand that as people, as organisms, we are subjective to both the bad and the good, the up and the down, the left and the right, the backwards and the forwards. We always move the goalposts a little bit forward whenever we are just about close to reaching our goals, and that is a detrimental standing that a lot of people put on themselves, and for good reason. We are in a very competitive nature in society today. We look at things a little bit differently and we identify things a little bit more clearly. However, in that realization, we also give ourselves no opportunity to breathe. We provide ourselves no opportunity to function beyond that of what we see, hear, understand, know, delve into. There are no reasons for any of us to feel horrible or any of us to feel in any way, shape, or form that we have not done enough. For these particular instances, dear listeners, are going to bring us to the proverbial zenith of our own expectation. When we get to a point to where we know that we are working hard, where we know we are doing our best, and it still isn't enough, that is the point where you have to give yourself grace. Because the psychology of effort in that case will inevitably turn into the psychology of grief and mistakes if you continue to beat yourself up. The more one continues to be harsh upon oneself, the longer and the more difficult life will be. Take this from someone in whom is extremely difficult on himself, and so this may be a bit hypocritical to point out, but the way to overcome it is to realize that life is a perpetuity of balance. No one ever achieves perfect balance. It is impossible, yet we all strive to, because humans need goals. Humans need something to work towards. Humans need something to fight for. And when we take an opportunity to look at the situation as it is and realize exactly how it is that we must move forward, dear listeners, you know yourself just how difficult it can be to convince yourself to do a task on a day when your body just will not cooperate. You know how difficult it is to sometimes wake up and go to work on days when it is raining or it is snowing or it is really, really cold, or there are a litany of other areas of opportunity that you can find yourself in. These are normal, situational, day-to-day experiences that you should never feel badly about. You share in the universal connection of humanity, to where we all suffer to a degree. That is the only thing that is universal, is suffering, because no matter how it looks, there is suffering in every element of the world. But without that suffering, would the bliss, would the happiness, would the solace be just as good? One could argue that it would not, but that specifically is up to interpretation. The psychology of effort and how you look into your mind and how you choose to go about your day is completely and entirely up to you. If you have individuals in your life who are trying to tell you how to live your life versus trying to guide you if you ask for it, those are individuals in whom do not need to be a part of your existence. These are people in whom will always find a reason or an excuse to tell you exactly what they think you are doing wrong, without providing a tangible solution. It is absolutely okay to have criticism, constructive feedback, anything like that. No one is impervious to development or evolution or changing or growth. But what we are seeing now is that in today's modern society, there are so many people who are resistant to the very notion of being able to grow as a person, that we need to focus ourselves on the understanding and the ideology that we are capable of everything that we strive to do. It does not matter what that looks like in the grand scheme of things. We have a responsibility to be able to move forward and to be able to configure solutions for ourselves. We have spent hundreds of thousands of years building a society that, all the while not perfect, it's the best we got right now. So when we take into account how overwhelmed our nervous systems are constantly, how we're frequently looking at our phones, computer screens, television screens, it is not relevant to how you yourself can find your way through the madness, how you can find your way through the chaos, and ultimately understand that calamity is vital to appreciating the bliss, the benevolence, and the brilliance that you yourself have worked towards creating for your life. The psychology of effort will look different to each and every single individual and whom is involved on this road of life, but all that matters is that you look at your life as beautifully as you possibly can. Wage war. Hold against the tide. Do not let the waves swallow you. And understand, dear listener, that you in each and every single way are a beautiful person just trying your best. And if you are doing your best to help yourself and those around you, you're already ahead of at least 50% of the population. Thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. At the top of today's episode, we promised you a top 5 list of our favorite Chimkin meals. Why? Because Chimkin is yummy and tasty and everything good. Coming in at number 5, we have the standard boneless, skinless chicken breast with white rice and laugemon chili sauce. Coming in at number 4, we of course have chicken Kiev. Coming in at number 3, one of the absolutely most beautiful Chimkin meals anyone can have, and that of course would be deep fried Chimkin, with a lovely side of garlic mashed potatoes and a little bit of smooth gravy. Coming in at number 2, we of course have the chicken tacos, and number 1, ladies and gentlemen, of course, where would we be without chicken shawarma? What are your top 5 Chimkin meals? Email us at thecheatingdeathpodcast@gmail.com. Today's joke has been brought to you by the Cleric of Chaos. You know, a lot of people in certain circles will tell you that politics are nothing more than just theater. Well, I'm not entirely certain whom is responsible for the hook, but whomever is responsible for those speaking ad nauseum about nothing really need to have ticks put into their systems. Today's Business Spotlight is once again brought to you by Chaos Realm Deutschland Venture Capital, or CRDVC. Are you looking for a consultant? Someone whom can assist your corporation with reducing your expenses and maximizing your revenue? Are you a company and looking to plan an event or sequence of events and you require an individual to organize, host, and prepare? Regardless of what your desires are, we have a long list of services that are available for your corporate needs. Email us at clericvonchaos@gmail.com and mention the Cheating Death Podcast for 25 to 50% off of your first program. Are you tired of individuals getting away with internet crimes and perpetuating crimes against the innocent? Well, we have a solution for you. Our friend Douglas Mallow, otherwise known as The Epic in the professional wrestling circuit, is a professional wrestler, professional powerlifter, and professional predator catcher extraordinaire based out of California. He is a man in whom is also responsible for being the security for youtube.com/@scalingupcatches, where he and Eric and Tanner take on California and Florida, catching predators where they can. Please follow his Instagram and subscribe to Eric and Doug's YouTube today. Are you looking for a way to have a laugh and a good time? Perhaps you are looking to have a drink and a meal while enjoying some comedians at their finest. By all means, we highly suggest that you check out the Backroom Comedy Club at 814 Bloor Street West in Toronto, Ontario, with shows on Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. This is an excellent opportunity for you to not only take in a show at a very cost-effective value, but also hear up-and-coming comedians as they learn to ply their craft and as they move forth and venture into the great world of comedy. Head on over to Backroom Comedy Club at Instagram, give them a follow, like, share, and subscribe, and reach out to them if you want to learn how to do stand-up yourself. They offer a tremendous school and class-related program. Are you also looking to head on down to a comedy club on Thursday to see some lovely people take advantage of the stage time and merely 30 units away? Well, we have a solution for you. Keys Comedy Club at 844 Bloor Street West is absolutely pivotal when it comes to the development of stand-up comedians in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Understand, dear listeners, that Mr. Key Epic himself is probably one of the best barbers in the city, and yet he still has time to run comedy shows almost each and every single day of the week. Started from a humble bedroom on Bloor Street West all the way to his new club at 844 Bloor Street West. You are going to be mesmerized and hypnotized by the jokes and by the blokes at which this particular venue has a lot of individuals performing at. Head on over to keyscomedyclub.com for tickets as low as $9 and subscribe to their Instagram at instagram.com/keyscomedyclub. Are you hungry? Are you in the Dundas West area? Is it noon to 1 o'clock? Well, by all means, go and grab yourself some lunch at Dundas Shawarma at 768 Dundas Street West in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Grab yourself a shawarma combo with a beautiful chicken shawarma wrap and a slice of pizza. There are a litany of options available there, and they even have specials on the Too Good To Go app, so why not head on over there and have yourself a meal today? And of course, where would we be, dear listeners, without our friends over at W Burger Bar, 10 College Street in Toronto, Ontario, Canada? Open every day from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. and delicious food menu options from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. $9.99 for a burger and fries and $2.25 PBR all day. Try out their raspberry riptide and their pink pearl fish bowls for just $9.99. Give yourself an opportunity to enjoy a patio atmosphere as you see the monolithic mega buildings before you. Realize that you have an opportunity and a privilege to relax, and you should take it at the W Burger Bar. Would you like your business featured on the Business Spotlight? Dear listeners, email us at theclericvonchaos@gmail.com, mention the Cheating Death Podcast, and get 25 to 50% off of your first advertising program. And remember, when it comes to your business, how you run it is your business and no one else's business. We each analyze situational circumstances and overall life experiences on a different level. How one identifies and understands with a particular position can ultimately emanate from their original standing or their value and moral system. So when we take into account what it looks like when we are trying our best, we ultimately give ourselves not even half the credit that we have earned. We always try to do our best to find a way to get through the noise and to reach that goal, but then those goalposts will move. We will find ourselves asking ourselves if we did enough, if we tried hard enough, if we moved forward in the right direction, if the path that we chose was indeed correct. These are all self-defeating statements that you and all of us provide to our minds in the hopes that we can just do a little bit more, work a little bit harder. Maybe we need to put a little bit more effort in. Given the nature and the dynamics of today's economy, as well as today's socioeconomic infrastructure, communication and technology being at all-time highs, and depression being at all-time highs, we need to be kinder to ourselves. We need to take time to focus and understand that the energy that we display and demonstrate upon the world is what we do to be the people who we want to be. There are no excuses when it comes to being able to be yourself. Ultimately, you must find the peace, the balance, the tranquility, and yes, it is a never-ending game. It is a sequential structure to which has no definitive level-up system. It looks unique to each and every single individual in whom approaches it. The psychology of effort is such that if you choose to make the decision that you are going to fight, that you are going to work, that you are going to do everything that you need to do to accomplish the task at hand, is absolutely vital to your development. You must not give up on yourself. You must continue to try, continue to believe in the capabilities that brought you to the very point where you are questioning your very capabilities. It isn't easy, but nothing in life that is truly worth experiencing and living ever is. And take it from a man in whom has been at both sides of the spectrum financially, socially, and almost in every which way in between, educationally, metaphorically even, as having been someone in whom has saved tons of money through hard work and lost it all because of medical issues and significant socioeconomic differences between what it is to be injured in an area that claims to have universal health care and immediate repair, all the way to identifying that rebuilding is necessary. The psychology of effort in this case is the realization that the galactic lottery has been kind to me, in the sense that I now have perspective as to what I need to do to rebuild, what I need to do to go forward. However, people overall are subjective and susceptible to identifying their areas of opportunity and or obstacles in ways that we do not even think. So, when you feel that you are about to hit a wall, metaphorically or even physically speaking, do yourself a favor. Remove yourself from the situation if possible and take a breath. Recount the effort that you put in and remind yourself just how hard that you are trying. There are no easy answers, ladies and gentlemen, but that is one of the beauties of life, is that the perpetuity of balance and the constant, the undaunting, relentless impact of entropy will inevitably take us all. But why not see how far we can go? Thank you for tuning in today. Take care of yourselves and each other. The Cheating Death Podcast is brought to you by Nachtem Lieben CRDVC, Cleric Chaos, and where you can find all podcasts on all platforms. If you would like to support the program, you may do so by purchasing merch, a cameo, or by making a one-time donation at the links in the episodes and in the podcast description. Please remember to follow all of our friends of the program, passionately and lovingly listed as consultants, producers, and assistant directors in each and every single one of the handles in the episodes and podcasts description. And if you or anyone you know is experiencing psychiatric duress, gambling abuse, substance withdrawal, or anything of that nature, please contact one of the toll-free numbers listed in the episodes and in the podcast's description. Follow us at youtube.com/@clericofchaos. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/clericofchaos, instagram.com/clericofchaos, and please feel free to join all of our friends in the pinned profile post at the top of our Twitter page. If you or anyone you know is looking at adopting a playful puppy or a cute kitten, please visit your local animal adoption rescue center. They are in dire need of your support. And remember, visit yummypets.com/voice to register yourself a lovely account that costs absolutely nothing, and join a community of people who touch the button every single day in order to give dogs, cats, and animals alike an opportunity to receive 330 pounds of kibble at no cost to you. Dear listener, we understand that life is a tree. It is not a narrow road. We have to understand that the branches lead to different destinations, but that does not necessarily mean that there is a one-track solution. Keep your head in the game. Stay focused. You can and will succeed. Remember, we're pulling for you. We're all in this together.